So with all this talk about police reform that's in the news nowadays, and there's talk about reallocation or retraining of police officers, I was just thinking, how about we reevaluate like our mindset of how we do things? There's a lot of things in police work that nobody wants to talk about or admit to or admit that there's a problem. We keep on this is there's a bad apple here, and I'm so tired of hearing that. There's an accepted culture that really hurts police officers today, and I was thinking about it. It's too much that we let fly, like that we don't confront head on and say, you know what, this is ridiculous behavior. Why do we do this? So I was like thinking of a list, and I'm gonna read this one today because I was writing this down. It's too much for me to memorize, but I would just like to think to challenge you. If this is you or you in this profession and some of this stuff is kind of how you think, then maybe you're part of the problem. And hey, I'm all about forgiveness, but this is just what I believe, and I've been doing this a long time. This is what I believe we have issues with and that need to go, period. So here's my list. So if being part of a blue fraternity takes precedence over serving the citizens, it's a problem. If you feel it's okay to talk down to people for no reason whatsoever or tolerate your partners that do, it's a problem. If you consistently use the phrase, I hate people, that's a problem. If you side with the officer every time because you think it's loyalty to the imaginary blue line, that's a problem. If you bullied someone, maybe like twisted a wrist or locked a cuff too tight or pushed someone or did what you knew you could do just to get away with it just because you could, you're a huge problem. If you stop somebody solely because of their Spanish last name or their 22-inch rims, that's a problem. If you treat people differently because they sag their pants or have tattoos, that's a problem. If you roll your eyes when you're asked to speak at a school, it's a problem. If the use of force is not your last resort, that's a problem. If you made up probable cause just to get in that car, just that little twist of the truth, that's a huge problem. If you could care less what the citizens think about you, that's a problem. If you refuse to shake people's hands, if you refuse to wave at kids, that's a problem. If you get a kick out of costing people money, that's a problem. If you talk about the good old days of being heavy-handed on perpetrators and how fun it was or how you wish you could get back to them days, that's a problem. If you think George Floyd's criminal record is somehow relevant in this conversation, that's a problem. If this list somehow offends you, in my opinion, that's a huge problem. Now, this is just food for thought. I think this is where we need to start with one of the factions or one of the sections of change and reform. And it starts just right with here, the way that you look, the way that we're taught to look, the stuff that we ride with in this culture. I'm happy to call it out. I've been enjoying calling it out as I can throughout my career. But I think this is the time. This is what's talked about, and this is a huge opportunity. Let's eradicate this crap, and we'll earn more respect with people. That's real reform and real conversation. All love.